Hello there, and welcome to Chapter 1 of my Carmona Retusa, Fukien Tea. Got this tree in the mail from one of those mass-produced bonsai stores, or it's a birthday present. My birthday's not till September, but the mail gets kind of cold in September, so I got a little early. So here we are in September. Sorry about the picture, horrible lighting. Keeping it in my window, just getting some direct sunlight in the very late evenings. Otherwise, only indirect. This here's the humidity dome that I'm keeping it in to keep the temperatures and the moisture levels right. Got the top part of it up here closed and closed on the very top. Down here on the bottom, just keeping a sliver of it open just to allow the air to circulate a little bit and not get too stale. She is pushing some new growth. You can see as I'm pointing it out here. In a second here, I'll get you a top view where the color definitely stands out a little better. So you can see we've made it all the way to November, and we're still pushing new growth. Daylight's pretty hard to come by this time of year, so I am pleasantly surprised. It's at this time that I'm actually still thinking, hey, the Fukien's not as tough as people say it is. Well, hang on. It is December 21st. Happy solstice. This tree hasn't had a lick of sunshine touching its leaves in probably a little over a month, and I think that finally triggered some dormancy. As you can see, it's not looking quite as happy as it was before. At least it triggered a slowdown. So I'm going to let it chill for a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and put it in the grow tent and wake it back up and see if we can do some work with it. Turned over the calendar and she's back to living vibrant again. Check out all that green growth. Just fantastic looking. Looking pretty healthy now, so we're going to go ahead and see what we can do about getting her repotted. I'll be putting her into this little 6-inch training pot here. I kind of like these little training pots with all the holes in the bottom. Keeps the roots from wrapping around the bottom over and over. But we'll see if the Fukien likes it. Not too wild of a root ball on this thing. Definitely manageable I can work with. The really cool part though is this trunk here. I exposed about another inch, 3/4 of an inch of trunk. So I can get this thing up a little bit taller up out of the ground, maybe plant it at a different angle, give me some more options. The roots themselves though, because they're in such a small pot, let's see if I can get them onto the actual camera, into the frame here. But they're starting to curl back underneath the root ball, almost like a bunch of fingers curling up underneath the hand. So I'm definitely need to spread those out and see if I can fix that. So I'm cutting off the roots that are starting to grow back underneath, as well as anything that's on a little bit higher of the root plane, or higher than the root plane that I want. Nothing really coming out the direct bottom, and these roots here are still flexible, so hopefully I can push them out a little bit with the bonsai substrate. That's looking to be about as good as I'm gonna get it, so we'll go ahead and get her potted back up now. So I'm going to take a minute or two here to get these roots all pressed out flat and organized the way I like them, nice and radial and pointing just a little bit down. I know they're not going to stay exactly like I put them, but at least it'll be better than not doing anything. I'd say that's got her pretty much done. This is how she'll be sitting for at least the next year, probably 2. Got her sitting up about an inch taller out of the pot, which is really nice, and not very stable just yet, but we'll throw some rocks on there to keep her stable in the pot and put her back under the lights. See what she does. Now, I got a lot of my information on how to take care of this thing from Dave over at Blue Sky Bonsai. That guy is he doesn't seem to show a lot of Fukien teas or Carmona Retusas on his channel, but he showed them a couple times, and I asked him some questions, and dadgum, that guy's a wealth of knowledge. So thank you, Dave. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, Dave. I really do appreciate all your help with this thing here. I've been following his advice about trying to keep the humidity levels up. I want to do one thing to this tree at a time, so even though it definitely needs a prune, I need to get back in there and figure out what's going on with its shape and structure. Dave has definitely mentioned that don't do them at the same time, so I'm going to take his advice and not. As you can see, she's pouting and throwing quite a fit. Apparently Mrs. Fukien here does not like to have her roots trimmed. Good to know going forward. Two months into it, and she's still looking pretty rough. She does have some new growth coming in, putting out some flowers and whatnot, but still a lot of leaf drop, and even the new leaves are starting to, they grow, they turn yellow, and they fall back off. So I'm still getting dialed in, still trying to figure this little tree out. Now by April, we've got a little more balance back to the tree. Did a little bit of work cleaning up all the old funky looking stuff, and mostly just new growth coming in now. Here's a little better view. You can see the new growth all coming in. Looking pretty happy, pretty good at this stage. Another positive sign, she's firmed up in the pot here, so definitely got some root growth going, and she's recovering nicely down below the soil. Daggum, we are going the wrong direction. I'm getting why Dave Weiss over there at Dave's Bonsai calls this thing the Finicky Fukien. Son of a gun. Looks like we took about 4 or 5 steps backwards now, doesn't it? Things are looking kind of horrible again. I am starting to get a bit of a bug problem, so we are now starting the war, and I think round 1 went to the bugs. The war effort continues. Yeah, still not looking very healthy, and we're having a kind of a cold summer. The evenings never get really above 50, 55 degrees, so I'm keeping this thing indoors pretty much the entire time, but Finicky Fukien for sure. war on bugs seems to be a fight of attrition, and by August I think we're finally back on the winning side. She's looking a little better and a little more healthy and happy, so I'm pretty excited about that. She's starting to look like a Fukien tea again. Hello there. It is September 23rd, 2023. And my Fukien Tea, Carmona Retusa. I am just not dialed into this tree yet. It is a pretty wicked cool looking tree. I'm not real sure I've ever seen a tree like this in real life, but it's kind of cool to see it. I don't know exactly where I want to go with it, but first thing I need to do is learn how to keep this thing alive. 1 year and this tree has definitely gone backwards. You compare what it looks like now to what it looked like when I first got it. It definitely looked much better when I first got it. So I've still got a lot to learn. I know I've been fighting bug problems with this thing. It seems to be a magnet for me. It's got it just seems to be a magnet for me. Doing all I can to try to combat that, but right now I'm losing. So hopefully we'll stay on top of it and we'll have a chapter 2. But in the meantime, like it if you liked it, subscribe if you want to follow along. Any comments, questions, concerns, violent criticisms, please leave them in the comment section below. And I'll be back as I got more to show you.